We live in a day and age where technology is creating a world without borders, filled with unlimited potential to improve the lives of the people around us. Innovarex Global Health ushers in a new way of leveling the playing field with increased access to quality healthcare services delivered at your doorstep. Our qualified professionals are equipped with state-of-the-art point-of-care testing technology to conduct tests such as kidney function, liver function, electrolyte tests, body composition, hemoglobin, A1C, and many more services with the highest efficiency in delivering results. The addition to our flagship Wellness on Wheels, more fondly known as WOW Delivery Service, brings the entire clinical experience full circle. IGH has remained committed to creating the future of healthcare delivery. Gone are the days of sending loved ones outside the country for basic medical services. Innovarex Global Health offers a new peace of mind and takes pride in delivering the quality of care we all deserve.
In communication, connectivity is everything. We ensure that the links never sleep. Quantities and qualities, all in our data service, providing efficient, reliable voice and data service. We believe if you're not up to speed, then you're going backwards. Communications have to flow as fast as the speed of light. Whatever business you're in, having someone who understands your needs is critical. That is why we just don't offer you technology, we offer you solutions. Enjoy Gamcel's internet broadband anytime, anywhere. Your national operator, Gamcel, Yaibaram.
Alright. Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But don't you know about Baluwo?
Baluwo? What is Baluwo?
Baluwo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baluwo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluwo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baluwo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baluwo, better than sending money.
Agada
mbijan aganya
albaka
mbaka important
yo nga transfer la sto
ya transfer la
ha code nyenje
okay what's that
nsila id soto
ah sa soto sorry
Agada.
Bijan bro.
Alba.
Mbaka.
Bara Allah service o tariya.
Bare.
Ko ki janna nun kunu bara tariya.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolong blabe.
56 branches mola sota Gambia jam.
Ha?
Gambia kono ani Gambia bantala bankol. Nko kodo kiya bere. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw jannam number 1 di nyonta andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi mani domorol din fana beteat Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale di
wo moyo diat
apelenta
baraka ni lafta nyelan kendol e bina
yalo bu kanila ko la baraka
yalo ndel ciosano lo
baraka.
Of owning your dream homes, EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
Hello and welcome to the first virtual town hall of COVID-19 discussion by the Children's National Assembly of the Gambia. As we said to you yesterday, that today we will come your way to discuss on some of these issues affecting children during this coronavirus time. But first of all, before we go further, we have some guests here. I have very wonderful guests present here today to discuss with you on COVID-19 and how it's affecting children. First, on my right-hand side, I have the Minister of Women, Children and Social Welfare, Ms. Fatou Kinte. And the second person here is Sandra from UNICEF, the country representative of UNICEF. And the next person there is Honorable Ibrahima Koli of KM. Then, as we said to you yesterday, that today we will be discussing on very important issues or topics. And like we're going to share with you on the effects of COVID-19 on children's education. And also we're going to talk to you about how coronavirus has increased domestic violence. And also like these trying times, we have most of the children selling because, you know, the rate of selling has already increased. So we're going to talk to you about why is that. And also we're going to share with you how are we going to face the societal changes, because we believe that after the COVID-19, there will be some changes. How are children going to face those changes? So getting into the program, I will first start with our Honorable Minister, because she is from the Ministry of Women, Children and Social Welfare. I will ask her first, Honorable, what is your ministry doing for children during this pandemic time? What are some of the things you're doing for children during this?
Thank you very much. I am our very able speaker of the Children's Assembly. I want to recognize the presence of Sandra, the UNICEF rep, and the KNC representative of the Children's Assembly, and other colleagues who are with us in the studio. My ministry is responsible for women, children, and social welfare. And in this time of COVID, we are very concerned about the welfare of children, simply because children are vulnerable. And children are also the future of this country. More so when they are at home, not going to school simply because of the state of emergency. That's also in their interest. When they stay at home, they don't go to school, the interaction with others is very limited. And that is all to protect them from the coronavirus. What my ministry is doing is doing sensitization on radio and television. I've been on television twice, sensitizing mothers and parents, and also children, by virtue of the fact that they're also vulnerable. And to let them know that coronavirus is here in the Gambia. It's not a story, it's not a dream. And let them know that it is a global pandemic and it is deadly. They must protect themselves. And how can that be done? They must follow the guidelines given by the WHO and the Ministry of Health of the Gambia. For children, they must stay at home. That is my advice and the advice of everybody. Stay at home and don't interact with other children. And then no hugging, no shaking of hands, and regular washing of hands at all times under running water, using soap and running water. At the same time, you can also use hand sanitizer. This has been our advice during our programs on radio and television for children. And we cannot talk to children and leave out the parents. After all, more especially the mothers. Because for the mothers, it's within the reproductive rule that they take care of everything within the household, including the children. So we advise mothers to also ensure that there's regular hygiene at home, which includes everybody washing their hands, and the mothers making sure that children always wash their hands all the time while they are at home. Anywhere they are, they must wash their hands to make sure that they keep away the spread of the virus. At the same time, we also advise that let them listen to the program on TV and radio organized by the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. Because now that they are not going to school, it doesn't mean they should relax. Exams are going to come. So they should listen to the programs on radio and television organized by the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. I also understand that those in the private schools, also like Marina, there are similar programs being organized. And then children also, they're already given the links. So they should get in touch with, make sure that they use the link and then listen to the programs attentively so that they don't miss out on their programs. And right now, Ministry of Basic Education is going to allow those in grade 9 to go back to school. That's very important. It is. Because if they don't move grade 9, it will be difficult to have an intake in grade 7. So that being the case, those who are in grade 9 and have to go back to school, yes, go back to school, but make sure that you observe social distancing, wear your face mask, use hand sanitizer, and always wash your hand with soap and running water. And while in school, there's going to be a lot of spacing to observe the social distancing. My colleague minister has informed me that they make sure that one child, one desk, so that they can observe the social distancing. But then we are in school, that's right, but remember, you are there because you have to continue with your lessons in preparation for the exams. But also remember, COVID-19 is here, and then you have to make sure you observe social distancing. While in school, no hugging. While in school, no shaking of hands. And don't allow your fellow children to come and play in your homes. Stay away from everybody, and then make sure that you are protected and you don't also contribute in spreading the virus. So we have been very vigilant, myself and my staff, and also the women councillors on radio and television, doing the sensitization to make sure that we are all safe, more especially children who are vulnerable. So these are some of the things that we have been doing, and will continue. Because for us, we feel that everybody is in this together. And even the children, to make sure that they talk to their fellow children and advising them on COVID-19 and how we should keep away from spreading the virus. Thank you very much.
So the minister is saying that children should advise orders so that we can make a stop to this COVID-19. Sandra, how is your institution responding to COVID-19 when it comes to children?
First of all, I would like to thank you for the invitation. And we're very pleased to be with Honorable Minister and Honorable Deputy Speaker of KMC and of course the host. I think it's a really important day today because it's one of the key milestones that our organization, UNICEF, are supporting, but not only. What is the element we are doing? It's about advocacy. We are today here to speak about the children, and I think it's important. We talk a lot about COVID. We think about the health component about COVID. But if you stop and look how many children will be dying during COVID time due to pneumonia, due to diarrhea, due to malnutrition, how many mothers will have challenge to go to the health centers because they are afraid to give birth in the health centers. So I think advocacy is one of the key elements that we are supporting the different line ministry to really leverage to be able to reach everybody. The second element is that you cannot do advocacy without facts. And I think it's one thing that we are supporting as UNICEF. For example, you are aware about the Europort. It's really one of the channels where currently we have more than 10,000 members who give the voice. And through this channel, we are able now to have feedback for the children, the youth, about COVID, about education, and about different elements during COVID time, which will be provided to the different line ministry to take informed decision. But we also have, during COVID, opened a new platform which is naming Rapid Pro, which allows the real-time information. And so we already launched it with the health colleagues in the region, and they give us real-time information about how we can adjust the COVID response. We are working with different line ministry, and the Ministry of Women, Children and Social Welfare is one of the key ministry because they are your ministry, the children. They are also the ministry of the most vulnerable population in the Gambia. So we are talking about the women, we are talking about the children, we are talking about the elders, we are talking about the most vulnerable. So I think it's really important that as UNICEF, but not only UNICEF, we are also working with development partners, we are working with the other UN sister agency to support the government to be able to deliver on real time the services that the population deserve, and of course the children first. The third part of how we are supporting is of course on service delivery. Honorable Minister have highlighted the reopening of the school, and I think it's really first we need to acknowledge the good work that the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education have done during the learnings through the TV and the radio. I know that some of the children didn't have access because they don't have battery sometimes or the radio, but I think it's one of the countries that have done very quickly a program to scale to be able to reach the most. And they also are going to do better as it's going. And they are also trying to ensure that the schools are safe before reopening. So we are helping the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education to, with other partners to reopen the school. But we also have children, for example, in the jail. So with the Ministry of Justice and Ministry of Women, Children and Social Welfare, for example, some of the children have been going to the process more quicker, so the decision from the justice can be done, so the children are less in risk in jail. And if they should stay in jail due to their act, because right come with responsibility. And so we ensure that they are in the environment that it's safe. So we have different services. So it's the social services, we name it. Can be on education, on water, hygiene and sanitation, on health, on nutrition, on HIV, on protection, of course, of the children, and other sectors, which allowed not only to provide support through the building capacity, but also services for children. one of the important, for example, Monday with Honorable Minister of Women, Children and Social Welfare, the ministry are launching a new program for the poorest children in the country. The poorest children in the country will receive from the ministry a social protection package which allows the poorest family within the Gambia to have a protective, let's say, time with money and food, which allows them to survive during this very difficult time. Because it's a very difficult time, and we should acknowledge that. And I would like perhaps to, if you allow me, to conclude by saying one thing that I was amazed. I just came back from the field. I was in Sierra. I met with numbers of key actors, the local authority, the workforce, from social welfare, from the health, education. I went also to the community. And I should say here that I was really amazed by the strong and very good work that the workforce are doing and the local authority. And we need to recognize that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sandra. Sandra is saying that like the government is doing so much for children in these trying times, but yet still we still have Honorable Ibrahim Akoli here with us. Honorable, can you please tell the people or explain to them some of the challenges you children are facing or we children are facing during this trying time?
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Speaker, Honorable Sarah Sise. Give my special greetings to Honorable Minister and Country Rep UNICEF, Madam Sandra. Well, you know, as we all know that COVID-19 has created a lot of impacts on children's education and their daily lives. And here when I talk of impacts, I mean negative ones. So the Ministry of Education has done a lot of great things during this hard time. They have been organizing, you know, radio and TV programs, and they have been doing sensitization together with the Minister of Health in the country. So children have negative impacts during this hard time because their lessons, you know, they have not covered their syllabus, one, and two, they have been sitting at home. You know, children they have never come across such hard time because children, they always like to interact with their fellows. You know, when you isolate a children or you ask a child to stay at home, you know, it will be very difficult for that child to stay at home without seeing his or her fellows. So that will be a great effect on children. And two, when you go through the learning system on Gambia, children, most of them are not used to like online online classes or media classes. So it has caused a like negative impacts on them. Yeah. Most children, when you ask them to go and follow this education set, they will feel bored. You know, when they sit down, they may not even concentrate well. Most children, most of them, the serious ones, I mean, they used to sit and watch, but only some, you know, not all children also watch
the program. It's like he's trying to tell people that, you know, Honorable Minister, you and Sandra were all talking about the same thing. That is the government classes, and it's like most of the children find this thing as something bored because for the fact that some of them used to say like these people are repeating what we have done, and like children living in the provinces area, some of them are not accessible to electricity, and some of them do not have these radios. They're living in villages that are not that much developed like the combos here. So like some of them feel discriminated that they are not part of what the government is trying to do. What are you doing for those children? Because everybody is talking about this learning thing, but it's like it's just too much. People are just trying to criticize what the government is doing a lot of efforts to help children during these trying times, but still there are children that are left behind, that they're not doing classes, and most of them are the Arabic school students. Yeah, exactly. They're saying like these classes is being provided for only the English school students, and they are not helped with such. So what is your say on that?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I want to say that for the madrasas, they do participate, because the point is the madrasas, some of them, they also offer English, maths, and social sciences. So they benefit from those classes.
Sure.
Okay. You see, these are difficult times, and they are very trying moments. It will be difficult to address the needs of every child in the Gambia. The government is doing every effort to make sure that at least children are not left out, they're not left alone, especially in their schooling. And not too long ago, the Ministry of Education got support from another donor, and they were able to buy radio sets and give out to those communities where the families don't have radio sets. But again, let me say that when you come to radio here in the Gambia, almost every family, every household almost has one radio set. Yes, it's one thing which is very common in families, because people would like to listen to news and want to listen to music. And as a result, most families have at least one radio set in the household. Okay, to address this issue of the children's education using radio and television, Ministry of Education was able to get support from some other donors, and they were able to procure some more radio sets and giving it out to those in the rural areas, so that they can also have access to programs going on radio and television, just to make sure that we implement equity. Because for us in government, every child should be given equal opportunity. Yes, for those who are unfortunate to be in areas where they don't have television or electricity, this is what has been happening. And then, in fact, now that grade 9 students are going back to school, the problem with those ones will now be relieved a little bit, because they will be sitting in class and the normal classes will go on.
Continue,
Yeah, and then I just want to say that we would like to apologize for those who cannot access at all. If we have our way, every child in the Gambia will be able to listen to television and radio and follow the classes as normal. But then we have to understand these are difficult and trying moments. And across the country, there are challenges here and there. And then there's a way out, and we'll try to see how best we can make sure that every child is able to participate in these classes. Because again, it's very important. Or else, when eventually exams come, we will not be expecting the same result from everybody, and that's not what we want. Yes, I also want to talk on children who are returned from Senegal. Yeah, because quite a good number of Gambians children go to Senegal to learn Arabic, and then because of COVID-19, a large number has been returned from Senegal. Some came with their ustazis, some came alone, and they are more in the Central River region. As soon as we got the information regarding that, my ministry and Ministry of Health worked closely together and went to those communities, and then the children were separated from their families as a form of quarantining them and providing them with protective gears, so that and they were also tested. Luckily, none of them have the virus, and as we are speaking, some of them have been reintegrated into their families. And these numbers keep coming and coming. Initially, it was 52, and then 58, and then this is also a concern for us as a government and also as a ministry. Yeah, because they were in Senegal learning because of COVID-19, they had to come back.
They had to come back.
But we didn't leave them alone, and neither did we leave their families, because we also made sure that we provided the families with food stuff, so that they're able to take care of these children. And Sandra mentioned one thing which is also very important that we are doing as a ministry. And yes, there are children in vulnerable households. And when COVID-19 started, UNICEF gave us a lot of money as a ministry to look at some of these children, but not across the country. We are looking at them, those in North Bank region, Central River region, and West Coast region. These are children in vulnerable households. And then so we are going to provide them with food, and also there will be cash transfer. The program we are launching on Monday in North Bank region, and then launching in Sierra on Tuesday, and West Coast region we are launching the program on Wednesday. And there, families will be provided with rice, oil, and sugar, and cash transfer of $1,000 for 3 consecutive months. And when UNICEF approached us and they gave us the money, our staff went to the field immediately, and they worked with the MDFTs to identify the vulnerable households. In total, they are 1,000 from the 3 regions. So they were identified, and then we got all of their contacts. So Monday, by the grace of God, we launched the program in North Bank. immediately after launching, at the launching, I'll be present with my team, so we'll be present with the UNICEF rep with her team. After the launching, then the staff will go into the communities in North Bank and distribute the rice, sugar, and oil, and then the cash transfers will follow. But that will be done through the office of the governor. And then, as I had said, we continue on Tuesday.
That's a very good step.
Yeah,
you guys are doing very well for children during this trying time, and then we appreciate that, Honorable.
Yeah, and I also want to thank UNICEF very much for the support. The support is coming from UNICEF, this particular one, to the tune of $100,000, which is quite a lot of money. And I want to thank UNICEF very much for supporting the government of the Gambia.
UNICEF, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Then we're still discussing on COVID-19 and how it affects children in the Gambia here. So still on questions and answers, Honorable Ibrahim Okoli, during this coronavirus, we see that like the number of children selling in or on streets or in streets are too much. So what are some of the things you have to say to people? Why is it? Yeah.
Well, when you check children selling on the streets, that has also be part of like abuse, because that is child labor. Child labor means like giving a work that a child may not carry or that may harm a child, heavy load. And also when you check on children selling on the street, it can cause another impact on them, that is sexual harassment. Because when you send your child to the street or on roadside to go and sell this stuff, a man can just come and tell you how much does this cost. And you know that if like by the time you were going out of the house, your mother might tell you or your father might tell you that no, fathers or most fathers don't even sell their children. I can say the mothers or their guardians. They might tell you that if you don't come with this amount today, you will not sleep in my house or stuff like that. So the child might be threatened in that way. So if a man just come and asks you how much does this cost, you will tell him the price. And if a man just come and say that yes, I will pay it, you know, you will think that this man is the best man in the world. Today he buy, tomorrow he buy, the next day he also buy. You know, time will come, the man may even ask you, come to my house, let me give you something.
Yes.
When you go, things might happen, and that may go wrong. These things are always caused by our parents. If you see children selling on the street, like their parents also send them. They are the one, I can say, they are the one who usually send them. A child, yesterday as we were just going, you see just a 5-year-old child cross the road with a very high speed, while the vehicles were there, and there were no policemen there.
So this simply means that like parents are sending children on streets to sell, and there is nothing like the security, it's not trying to help.
Yes.
Because for the fact that yesterday I was I witnessed the scenario that happened, because for the fact that this particular child was carrying water on his head, and then he was going around and saying that I'm selling water, and then he wanted to cross the road, but he was running so fast, so the vehicle was coming also with high speed, but so luckily the vehicle stopped, and then the child had to cross the road. So this simply means that parents should be very careful. Like, you should not send, the issue here is, why should parents send children to go and sell when we say that everybody should stay at home in these trying times? And Honorable Minister, like, what are you doing? What are some of the efforts you're trying to put through, or the steps or ways you're trying to highlight or put through, so that parents could stop what they're doing? Because, you know, it's trying to cause a lot of damages in the society, because we said people should stay at home. Can't the government not do something by like saying like, or bringing in laws that will say like, if any child is found on street selling, the parent has to do so and so. But I don't see all those things on board.
Thank you very much, our Honorable Speaker of the Children's Parliament. That's a very good recommendation coming from the Speaker herself. We will consider that, but at the moment that's not happening. What we are doing now as a ministry is sensitizing families not to send their children into the streets. We are also concerned by the large number of children in the streets, and some are selling, some are begging. That's not the right thing to do. I know these are difficult times, these are trying times, but then the President of the Gambia, President Adama Barrow, has given 85% of the population of the Gambia. For the rural areas, 100%, the urban area, 84%, have been given aid in the form of food, rice, for example, oil, and sugar. So I want to encourage parents to manage with that and not send their children to sell in the streets, because it has a lot of disadvantages. You mentioned the case of the child that was trying to cross the road, and we are lucky he or she was not hit. But then we also have to consider it is child labor. And instead of asking the child to go and sell, the child should be at home reading his or her books, or even more, participating in the program that's going on by the Ministry of, being organized by the Ministry of Education. So I'm one person who's against children selling in the streets or children begging in the streets. So we want to urge all families and guardians to make sure that they keep children at home, whether it's COVID-19 or not. It's against the rights of the child for them to be in the streets begging and selling. Yes, so that must stop, because now every family has something to eat in the house.
Sure.
Yeah, so they shouldn't use children to go in the streets. And just as the speaker from KMC also mentioned, it can lead to gender-based violence, sexual violence, for example. And one way to stop that is to avoid children going in the streets to sell or to beg. I also want to say that GBV can also be within the home, because COVID-19 is a global pandemic, and we have been asked to stay at home. And for the first time, most families are staying together for longer hours in the home. And that is a recipe for gender-based violence. We have seen more cases of gender-based violence now occurring because of the time the people are spending together in the homes. And in our radio programs and TV programs, we encourage families to make use of the time they're spending together, and not to use it negatively. It's a way of being closer to your family members. It's a way of being closer to your children. Some parents are never close to their children. And it's a way of understanding your children. It's a way of teaching your children the issues of growing up from boy to man and from girl to woman. We know that in biology, when children are growing, a lot of changes take place in their bodies. And they don't know why. And they can't talk to their parents because parents are always distant from the children. And many a time, they listen to their peers. And peers are equally ignorant. They end up giving wrong information to their friends, who may sometimes land into trouble. But if parents who know it are able to discuss with their children, then the children will not make any mistake.
They will have
then
better
in fact,
experience.
they'll be more responsible. They know that when I develop breast, when I see my period, this is what I should do. And they'll be more responsible. And again, it will bring them closer to their parents. So when a child has a problem, instead of asking a peer, he or she will ask the parent. And so let's make sure so that we look at COVID-19 positively and make sure that we explore all the positive aspects of it, to make sure that we are closer to our children, families become closer, and not to look at only the negative part. I also want to say that COVID-19 is another recipe for child marriage, because girls are staying longer at home. And if a suitor had wanted asked for the girl's hand in marriage, and the parents said, respond that the girl is going to school, now that she's not going to school, he may come again, and God forbid, he may succeed. And that will not be good for the child, because it will prevent her from achieving her aspirations in life. And COVID-19, as I've always been saying in my programs, can also be a recipe for FGM. Yeah, because now the girls are at home, some parents may decide to cut their girls. But I want to say that let parents know that both FGM and child marriage are criminal. They are criminal acts. There are laws against both of them. So if anybody is caught, you will face the consequences of the law. So please, let's not cut our girls during this COVID time. Let's not send them out for marriage during this COVID time. Let's protect them. That's the most important. Let's protect them, and let's also try to be very, very close to them so that they see us as their friends. So when tomorrow comes and they see us have a problem, they come and meet the parent and ask the questions, and not as a peer who may equally be ignorant and end up landing them in trouble.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. And please, you can post your comments or send SMS on 7878-547 7878547. Still under discussion, like the whole thing here, or the whole idea here is COVID-19 and children. How are we going to help children? How are we going to protect the welfare of children during this COVID-19 period? And still on questions and answers to Sandra. Sandra, we have this belief that after COVID-19, like there will be societal changes. Most of the things are going to change because, you know, this COVID-19 is a lesson. Most of us has learned something from it. So what are some of the things you think, oh, how can we help children to prepare for those changes that are to come in future?
Thank you very much. Perhaps I will go a little bit back on your previous question. I think this country have laws to protect the children. I think it's important, like Honorable Minister have highlighted, that people don't think that they can do everything. The law is here, and the ministry, the different ministry, including the Ministry of Justice, are taking it seriously. And talking about your question about the future, you will have impact. Let's take the children in the street now. We clearly see much more children, not only in urban, but also in rural, who are in the street and selling things. And we already discussed about the impact of this. But we need to be careful because after COVID, the parents who are getting money from the children in the street can say, let's keep them in the street, not send them any at the school again. If you look the human capital index for the Gambia, we only have 40%. So this is a negative impact, and you have much more. But you can, like our minister highlighted, have positive impact. Washing your hands, it's something very simple, but it saves life. Vaccination should not stop, and this saves life. We are talking about the time, Honorable Minister touched it, and the Deputy Speaker also, the time of the family to be together. And I think it's really an opportunity. We should not take it as a miss of opportunity to go to school. We have an opportunity, nobody expects this, but we have an opportunity to really work as family and to renew the relation between children, between parents, between family, and this must continue because more we are listening, better will be for the children to grow in a safe environment. Sometimes parents, I don't think parents are violent because they like violence. Very few people like violence. The majority of parents are violent because they have issue. And this issue, it's also to the government, to the partners to help, but also the children. Because, and I'm very happy to be invited by you today, is that you take action. And something that I would like to see differently is that the children and the youth take more action. You are not only getting, like I say, right come with responsibility. And speaking today is action, and I hope that we'll continue the dialogue. I went in CRR this week, and I went last month in LRR. And again, I see your representatives in the region are very strong. So how we can do better in future is that you understand now the importance of education. Most of the children I spoke with want to go back to school, to meet with their friends. It's normal. But also to learn, because you realize that, and it was one of your observations, that have a teacher in front of you, it's a luxury. Okay? And as you highlight, unfortunately, we are not yet covering all the children in the country. So as we are going and building better, the Ministry of Health are really trying also to decentralize the services. The Ministry of Education want to continue the learnings through TV and radio and increase the safe access to education. But we also have the safe school for violence that the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Women, Children and Social Welfare want to improve. So you have really a good good seed that we need to really make it grow after COVID. What I should also recognize is that no matter which ministry we are working with, the ministers I'm talking with say always the same thing. We want to build on sustainability. This emergency is an opportunity to build better. Each of the stakeholders have a role to play. As UNICEF, as UN, we are playing our role. The government tries their best to play the role. The children, now we can see that you are really engaged. I'm calling really the parents, the community, the local authority, all the actors that are helping now during the crisis to continue to help. Because we can see that many actors, including the diaspora, are helping during COVID. This should continue and increase, because this is how society can really build better.
So Sandra is trying to tell us the minister has a role to play, UNICEF has a role to play, and we the children have a role to play. So this simply means that it's people that make people. So they will try to improve our skills, our capacity, and then so that we could be more stronger. And like Honorable Ibrahima, we have like the Children's Act 2005, we have the 1997 Constitution, we have the Women's Act, the Tourism Act, Sexual Violence Act. But yet still, you know, before the corona, it's not been, we're not seeing the steps that should be taken. And still now, we have not seen what the government has done to enforce these laws. So what are some of the things you will suggest as an honorable to talk to the government about these wonderful laws that we have? They are very wonderful laws. These are very nice laws, but they are not implemented. Talk to us about it.
Thank you very much. As you just said, the major thing that we want is the government to implement the laws. Because when children are being offended, they do not know where to report first. Children lack access to media, because if a child is abused and the abuser itself threatens the child that if you report this or you do this, I will do this or do that to you, the child may feel, you know, threatened, and the child may not be able to report it. So the government should also help, like hotlines, just like the COVID-19, you know, we have free hotline calls. So the government should also provide hotline calls centers where children, you know, they will report issues that matters to them. And also the police should also help. They should also help very much. They should also help mainly on child labor first, because it is the major crime. Child labor and drug abuse. These are the main two things we want.
So Honorable Ibrahima, do you I could remember when we had our second sitting, there was something that we gave to the ministry, the call to action.
Call to action.
So since they have been given that, what are some of the things you see that has improved on what are some of the improvements? You have not had anything from the ministry yet. So Honorable Minister, you can emphasize on that, because I could remember we gave you guys something that we call the call to action.
The Gambia
the Gambia we want. So what are some of the ways, techniques, steps or methods you guys are trying to bring out?
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, the call to action was handed over to me, and a group of some of your members in URR submitted a request, and we are going to support that request. It's a follow-up to the call to action. They want to organize a workshop to discuss issues like FGM, child marriage, and other things that affect children. And so we are going to support that workshop. We were about to finalize the arrangement when COVID came. So as soon as COVID ends, we'll give support to your members in URR so they can organize their workshop. It's going to be a 3-day workshop for 3 days. 3-day workshop in 3 phases. Yes, so we are going to support that. And then we'll also look at the call to action and see what else we can support for those around this area. We chose to start with URR because they are far away. Yeah, so as soon as COVID ends, we'll work on that, and then we'll make sure that we give all the support to you and your colleagues so that you are able to organize activities that you have laid out in that call to action. I want to talk about the hotline. Yes, we are working very fast on this, and as we are speaking, my ministry and Paradise Foundation are working on that. So say in the next few days, we'll let you know the number. So anybody can call. It's a hotline for sexual and gender-based violence for everybody, not only for children. Yeah, so you can call when you call, and you will be attended to, and then we'll make sure that the right course of action is taken. I also want to emphasize that many a time when a case is reported to the police, it is the family members who come to withdraw the cases, and this is not right. Yes, what we also do in that is that to make sure that once they insist and they withdraw the cases, the police will go and meet the family and discuss with them and sensitize them so that there will not be a repeat of the case. But let me emphasize here, now we have made it clear to the police, once a case is reported, it should be prosecuted. Because we have to set examples. Once somebody goes to yield, then everybody will know that this is a crime and it must not be done.
Set an example.
Yes, we have to set an example. After all, women and children have a right. Yes, rights go with responsibilities. But then let's make sure that we protect them very much. Anytime that somebody is abused and it is reported, we make sure that the culprit is prosecuted. Okay, the issue of the police for help, I think that has to take care of that. Let the police make sure that any case that is reported, it should not be withdrawn, and we follow it up and up to prosecution. Because we have a lot of laws protecting women and children in this country. And the reason why they are not being implemented is because we are a very close society. Everybody knows everybody else. Sometimes there's a case and it's not reported. Like a girl is caught, there's FGM, and there's a child marriage, and it's not reported. So we are doing a lot of sensitization. Let people know that there are laws protecting women and children in this country. So when these things happen, like somebody is beaten, somebody is raped, somebody is sent off to marriage, somebody has gone through FGM, let them report so that the right course of action can be taken against the perpetrators. This is the only way that we can help implement the laws which are in country. We as government cannot implement alone. We need support from the communities to be able to implement the laws. So let's work together and make sure that we implement the laws to protect the women and children for society. Thank you very much.
Yes, and then we have some questions from the viewers. They said, was there any special package from government allocated for children in this time?
In this time, yes. I just mentioned that with support from UNICEF, we are going to North Bank, CRR, and West Coast region, and it's more for children in vulnerable households, and we'll provide the necessary package, food aid, rice, sugar, oil, and it will be followed by 3 monthly cash transfers of $1,000 each. And then I have no doubt that once this goes on successfully, we get more support to continue in other parts of the country. So that's one of the packages, and I'm sure there are more to come. In fact, the support given by government, the food aid, is another very big package. This is the best that has happened so far, and across the world. And this is the first time government is giving aid to 84% of the population. In our name, when you go to normal countries, it's only 25%. Yeah, but for Gambia, it's 84%. That's the biggest package government has ever given. So that's another aid given to families. And when you say family, of course, it comprises of everybody, more especially children who are most vulnerable.
Sure.
Yes.
And like we also have another question here, and the person is asking whether, since this coronavirus has started in the country here, do we have any case, confirmed case that like children or a child has is infected with this particular virus?
Oh yes, the case of the lady in Bakau, at Bakau Key Point, her daughter was also infected. Yes, but they were taken to the treatment center. Okay. Now they are fine. They have all been cured and they have integrated back into the society. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, that was the answers to the questions you guys have asked. Like Honorable Ibrahima, what do you think, like, because nowadays, even though we are not going to school, but parents, this is the time, like, they will not send you to the streets, or even if they will, this one is a different case. You know, we have sexual, child labor and child abuse. So, like, abusing the child in the compound itself, because you know that now we are not going to school, you will go and sell, but like you will tell the child, wash clothes, wash dish bowls,
Domestic
sweep the
violence.
compound. Yeah, domestic violence. What are some of the things you have observed in the society now, which you think is affecting children during this COVID-19?
Well, you know, every right goes with a responsibility.
Sure.
Yeah, but going through that aspect, helping your parents at home is different from child abuse. But to overdo it, that is the major effect.
To force the child
to do it.
Yeah.
Because this is the time children need more relaxation and more study. Children need to sleep a lot so that, you know, they can relieve their mind. You know, when you force a child to do something, the child may not feel happy, and when the child does not feel happy, he or she will not do it like the way you think or the way you want the child to do it.
Yeah.
So if you force the child, it may lead to another thing. It may lead to physical punishment. You might punish the child, and that is also another criminal offense.
So you trying to say, like, if you giving the work to a child, it has to be like something that the child will be able to do.
Exactly.
And like you should not forcefully enforce that on the child. So that is well had. Still, if you want to send your comments, you can post your comments, and also send SMS via 7878547, 7878547. Sandra, like UNICEF is well known, and we know that like you always in support of children. What do you think are the roles of children when it comes to peace building?
Very good question. So our mandate is to support the government to fulfill the CRC, the Convention of the Child Rights.
Yeah.
So as you know, His Excellency the President last year renewed the commitment on the CRC, and long time, 10 years ago, we were looking the children like child who cannot do anything. And we see now, and for example, yesterday was a climate day, okay? And so it's a young girls who going around the world, meeting with very high senior people, including the Secretary General of the UN, and advocating, because this planet, when we'll go, you will remain. So if we don't save this planet, we'll have an impact. So the action of the children is that our role as UNICEF, as UN, is to really give you the means, the skills, in support to the government, to be able to take informed decision. Because you are the one who will be taking decision in 10 years' time, 20 years' time. And if you are not well informed, if you don't have the skill, perhaps you will not take the right decision. So, and now during the COVID, if you are going for the easy direction, perhaps will be a really bad impact.
Sure.
If you are aware about what's going on, what is the impact, and if you can take informed decision, meaning that if you have a choice to go to listen to the radio for the education and not go and sleep or play football when it's forbidden to play football because it's gathering, you stay. It's not easy, but you must stay. You should not wait your parents to tell you. Perhaps when you have 5, 6 years, yes, but when you are adolescent, you should take action. So the children, we believe as UNICEF that you can take informed decision if the government, your caregivers, give you the means, the skills to take that. So our role is to support the government and the caregivers. Your role is to listen and to really grow and ask questions. And that's why it's important, the Europort. The Europort is really the platform for children, adolescents, and youth to give feedback about
what they think.
Because this feedback, it's give back to the line ministry or to the decision makers to take informed decision.
And Sandra, why do you think like adults have, or children are less, they do, like the coronavirus, since it came, it's adults that we normally hear are infected with the virus, and then less children infected. Why is that?
So you have many scientific evaluation going on. If you're interested, please do go to the Ministry of Health website or WHO website. You have numbers of key assessments that are ongoing. Currently, don't think that the children are not infected. As Honorable Minister highlighted, we have children who have been infected worldwide. There are less than adults. You have, for example, more men than women. So it's depending on the disease. But when you look the diseases that are directly reaching the children in the Gambia, let's take pneumonia, let's take diarrhea. Diarrhea, for example, is something that we can stop if we take very basic action like washing hands with soap, which also save for COVID.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, what are some of the steps taken by the government to help school young children, especially examination class, grade 9 and 12, whose syllabus are not completed?
This is the reason why for grade 9, more especially, school is reopening. And very soon, Ministry of Basic Education will announce the date for the reopening of the classes, so they go back to school so that they can complete their syllabus and they do the exams. And as I mentioned earlier, we are going to consider social distancing in the classrooms, one child per desk. And then we'll also provide hand washing material so that they can be regular hand washing, and then hand sanitizers and also face masks. Yeah, this will be used by all the children in the school, and also the teachers and also the administrative staff, just to make sure that we are able to contain the coronavirus. Yeah, because it's important for them to go back to school and complete the syllabus, but it's also important to protect them from coronavirus. And then I will urge all children to make sure that while in school, they observe social distancing from their friends. I know they have been missing their friends for a long time and they would like to see them again. Sure. Yeah, but let them maintain social distancing and no handshakes, no hugging, And when school is over, let them go straight home, no playing in the streets. And they should allow their fellow children to come to their homes to play. Yeah, because this is critical simply because we are trying to protect them.
Sure.
Yeah, we're trying to protect them. And then I wish all of them who are going to continue with these classes all the best, so that they complete the syllabus and then they do the exams and they pass with flying colors to grade 10.
Yeah. And what are the steps you have taken for the special needs for the disabled people? Yeah. What are some of the things you have laid down for the disabled?
Yeah, for the disabled who also fall in the same category, it is the same.
Sure.
Yeah, just as we, because whatever program is drawn for the for children in school, it cuts across. Yeah, for those disabled and also those who are not disabled. Yeah, because they also have a right, they have to be protected, and they have to have access to education, just as the others have access to education.
Sure.
For all those in grade 9, the program is the same, it's not different. Yeah.
Honorable Ibrahim, why do you think like the disabled should also be recognized when it comes to these trying times?
Well, the disabled are also part of the, they are also part of the community. We should not isolate them. We should not make them feel like they are not part of us. We should always try to, get them close to us.
Non-discrimination.
Non-discrimination Act, yes, exactly. Because we are all the same. We are created by the same God. So if we try to, like I can say, violate their rights, it will cause like some damages. Because one disabled, like my fellow honorable, he said that there was one lady who once used to like violate him or used to bully him, telling him that like you are deaf or you are this, you are that. And you see what the intern has, as they say, if you do good, good will follow you. If you do bad, bad will follow you. The lady go and deliver a child. That is also dumb. That is also a great it's a negative impact on the woman, and it has also caused some disability on the child. So it is it should not be done at all.
So stop bullying before your child will be dumb and deaf.
Yes, about the disabled. I just want to add that 2 days ago, my ministry presented the Disability Bill 2020 in Cabinet, and it was approved with a few amendments. And this will be the amendments will be made, and then we go to the National Assembly. So I hope and pray that before the end of June, we'll have a bill for the Gambia Disability Bill, which will protect the people with disability from all angles. Because we are all Gambians, we are all human beings, and we must be treated equally.
And we are only
Yes, and the government of the Gambia has taken that up. And this is the reason why we have come up with the draft bill, and it was approved in Cabinet. And then before the end of the month, we'll go to the National Assembly.
That's a very good
Just
step.
to add on what she has said, the disabled, we should not also forget them, because they are also part of the community. Most parents, if you ask them to take their disabled child to school, they will say that this child, he has no use. No, see, the person might have use in the future. You may not know what he or she might be. If I can remember, one honorable minister was blind. I'm not sure whether I can remember that.
It's a lady.
Okay, and if that one,
she was part of the parliament, and while she
still is.
She still is.
Exactly.
And she is differently able. If at all the parents have underrated her, they would not have known her potentials or what she would be able to do.
We should always try to make them part of the society and not to isolate them from people.
I want to also add that in the Gambia, we have about 200,000 people with disability. So that's a large population, and we must address their concerns and their needs. So that's the reason for the bill, for the disability bill. And my honorable parliamentarian, Minister assured, will make sure that every person with disability rights are protected, with education or whatever.
Thank you.
The population is very large, and we have to work together and make sure that the rest are protected.
Somebody is asking, will schools be open on Monday? I know most of them are not wanting to go to school. Schools will be open on Monday, but it's for grade 9 and grade 12s. Because they are in an examination class, so they have to complete their syllabus, because in these terms, they are almost near to their exams, so that is why schools will be open on Monday. Don't be shocked, it's not for grade 11.
Madam Speaker,
Yes.
Just to clarify, the date will be provided by the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, because the Ministry want to ensure that when the children and the teacher come back to school, it's safe. And this needs some preparation.
Exactly,
So is there any workshop conduct to advocate based on the pandemic to encourage children on civilization?
There hasn't been any workshop, but apparently during the radio and TV programs, all the things we talk about hygiene, cleanliness, which is part of civilization.
I will ask you to respond to this question. You are the children. So what have you done?
But like today I'm not the speaker. Today
you are the facilitator.
So sorry. Today, even if I am the speaker today, I will not answer any question. I'm just here today to ask. So today you are the panelists. You will be the ones to answer my questions. No, I'm the one hosting, so you will be the one to answer my questions.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Still questions from the audience. They're saying hi, my dears. You guys are doing great, because this COVID-19 is something serious, and parents should not allow children to go outside the street selling at this time, but we should give them time. We should give them time to study their books. I'm Ibrahim Abiso from Mbolet Ba. Thank you.
Okay, not bank. That's very
you
good.
know that place?
It's not bank. Yeah.
Okay. And still, others are saying, I have a question for the minister. We, the rural children, don't have enough classes for one person per desk. So how is the ministry going to deal with this?
Okay, this is why, as Sandra said, the ministry is working out a modality as to how to address this issue. But be rest assured, it's going to be one child per desk to make sure that we observe social distancing. This is the reason why schools are not opening on Monday, because our ministry is working on a lot of things. fumigating the schools, and then arranging to make sure that each child has a desk. You don't have to share desk, because remember, if we advocate for social distancing, then we must make sure that each child sits on a desk. You don't have to share desks. So let this child be rest assured. The ministry will make sure that in each school, in each classroom, one child per desk. Yes, that's where the ministry is going to work on that to make sure that that's close to reality.
Another question from Nyiman Sata Kamara of Kerawan. She's saying, like, during this the classes that are conducted on TV and radio, are there like sign language for the disabled? Because she is saying, like, I should ask the minister whether like sign language are included to teach the children.
I think so. I think sign language was included.
That's
yes.
included.
Yes, sign language, because I think I watched 1 or 2 classes. One was on maths, the other was on literature. Well, there was sign language. Yeah. And let this person know that now that there's this bill, we'll make sure that in whatever program there is sign language. Because after all, people with disability also have a right. They're also Gambians. Yes.
So you have rights, you're Gambian, so this is like to equalize everybody. Yeah. So Honorable Ibrahima, what are some of the things you think like children themselves or the SUNAC should do during this COVID-19 to also like to fight against this COVID-19? As we are doing right now, it's part of fighting because we are sensitizing the people and talking about some of the effects. But what do you think are some other things we need to still do in order for children to still understand what we are trying to tell them? Because, it has to deal with the mindset and the perception of people. Sure.
Okay. Like, when sensitizing, like we the children national assembly, we cannot go out and sensitize. But because if we go and sensitize, we might have the risk of contracting the disease. So that is what we are preventing. But as far as we are concerned, and children matters us. So now we are doing just like what we are doing today, live events, in order to broadcast and show the media to the children that we do not forget them. We are doing a lot of great job. The Children National Assembly has been doing extremely well, because since the start of this impact, we have been doing like posters, videos, sensitizations with every member in each region that you are representing. So we have been doing like posters and sharing individual message, and we have action plans for each region. So that action plan in region has planned what they should do to fight against the COVID-19.
Yeah, and still now we're having questions from the viewers. This person is saying, we appreciate the government for providing TV and radio learning, but children in the provinces, there is no light and not having proper understanding in math, science, physics, because some are only having radio. You can't learn those subjects on radio, like physics, maths, and science. And the person is also saying, my question is, what did the government, the ministry do yet to make sure that we understand our learning? Because you're not allowed to call and ask questions. In class, when you're taught, you ask the teacher, this is so bad, I don't understand this. But here, they just teach you, you just listen, write down. So it's good. There is not that mutual interaction between you and the person teaching on TV. So what else?
Thank you very much. That's one challenge that we are facing, and we'll try to see what we can do as a government to address the challenge. But it's a challenge that we are aware of. People have made comments on Facebook, and we've got the information, and we'll see how we can address it. Yeah.
So the minister is saying they will try to find ways on how to address this particular issue. So, like, still, we were talking about this domestic violence, child labor, domestic violence. How do you think these two are related? When you say domestic violence, you say child labor, or you say domestic violence and child abuse. We have these two different categories. So how will you explain them?
We talk about exploitation and we talk about violence. It's two two rights that the children should be getting from the caregivers. Exploitation, no matter which type of exploitation, including child labor, should stop. We have a law, like you highlighted. We need to reinforce it. Coming back to your point about the call for action, numbers of elements have been taken in charge. You were talking about a helpline. It's also work in progress. You were talking about reinforcing the law. The Ministry and Ministry of Justice have made a lot about building capacity. I'll just take an example. The colleagues from the Ministry of Women, Children and Social Welfare in CRR have been informed about the case and was going as, unfortunately, usually trying to be solved at the family level. He brings the case to Honorable Governor, who makes the case much more higher. Exactly. So now it's really the justice who's taking it. So I think if the caregivers are aware, we can take action. The family have a role, but the caregivers should be aware. One element that we need also to acknowledge is that the number of social workers now is very low. And our minister and myself have numbers of discussions. We are trying to see how much we can increase. And one way, it's the ministry are now, since last year, have rolled out a new element, which is a case management. So around the country, it's work in progress, but around the country now, when you have a case, can be violence, exploitation, out of school children, or children who don't have access to health, or disabled who do not have physical access, you can open a case, and this case will be followed, no matter where you are sitting. So it's rolled out now. So we are at the stage of the training at the community level. So at the community level, we have what we name the CCPC, the Community Child Protection Committees. And this is within the community. So we are at the stage of training them. So they will be able, when a case is identified, to report. So the caregivers, included the social welfare, the Ministry of Justice, the police can take action. Nobody can hide it. So as we are going, it's work in progress. So this is few examples of what you ask in your call that it's ongoing.
The last question from Samira Dia. She is saying, how can we support children to be calm and comfortable so that they are not very stressed by the COVID-19? So,
for me or
to the minister.
Okay, for them to not to be stressed, because I know if you ask children to stay at home, that's enough stress for them. But what we can do is to make sure that while they are at home, they can play indoor games so that they are not bored. Because when children are bored, it leads to stress. Yeah, they can be watching television, but they can still get bored. So as parents, we should work closely, as I mentioned earlier, let's work closely with the children and make sure that whatever they are doing in their home is very interesting. We make it interesting for them. They can watch television, watch the classes on television and listen to them on radio. At the same time, we engage them in indoor games. And as parents, let's also try to be close to the children and then chat with them, discuss with them, play games with them, computer games with them, just to make sure that they are not bored. Yes, it's very interesting. It's a very important period for children because in order to avoid them not to be stressed, these are all the things that we can do. Parents have to be more innovative to make sure that they engage the children more and not allow them to be bored. Because when they are bored for too long, it can lead to stress. And then let's try to avoid this and make sure that the environment is more conducive for them. And we as parents have a really big role to play in that. And together, we can make sure that it's very interesting for children while they stay at home during this COVID period.
So it's like we're almost at the end of the discussion. So I will allow you guys to say your final words before we conclude everything. So, Honorable, what are your final words?
Well, my final words are just the advice that the ministry has given to all children, both Ministry of Health and Education. What I will advise children is that stay at home, read your books, and prepare for your further lessons.
Thank you very much. Sandra, your final words.
I will use your final question. Stress can be positive or negative. You can have a positive stress. the children who are going on exam, the grade 9. It's positive if you take your stress, learn, ask questions on your family or around you, and you'll be more prepared. You have the negative stress where you keep it for yourself. For example, if COVID, you are worried about your health or family health, ask questions. Go to the Ministry of Health website, Twitter, Facebook, social media. I say the correct social media, Ministry of Health or WHO, to get information, and your stress will reduce. So, children, take action. We have a role to play, government have a role to play, but you are the main one who can make a difference.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, your last words.
My last words to children, you are not alone. We are together in this, and we give you all of our support to make sure that you are free of the coronavirus. To the parents, I'm saying be close to your children. Take the coronavirus pandemic as something positive, and make sure that you get closer to your children, engage them more, so that they become your very best of friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having you two here. It's an educative session. So right now I would like to introduce somebody here because he has just joined the panel. So he is Honorable Lamin Dabo of NYC, the Executive Director of NYC, for him to give us a word of thanks and to also express his gratitude towards the issues of children, because they are the main people here. They are always with us. Anywhere we go, they advise us, they give us anything that we know about the rights and responsibility of children. It's because of them. So they deserve that. So, Honorable, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I'm privileged to be called Honorable for the first time. So thank you, and I hope that other honorable members will not just take this off from me when we read this. I should remain honorable. This is just to deliver the vote of thanks. During the planning, they insisted that we should thank people who actually supported this whole program. National Youth Council is not alone in this mobilization, the education, but of course organizing this event. There are a series of partners. Ministry of Women, Children and Social Welfare, we have UNICEF. Of course, we also have Department of Social Welfare. We have also Child Protection Alliance. We have Child Fund. We also have different actors who actually come together to work with us to establish the Children National Assembly, and of course also support them all throughout, build their capacities, and so that all the regional assemblies are also in operation. And I think this is an opportunity to thank them for all their support throughout. I also want to use the opportunity to thank all the regional snacks. I mean the Children National Assembly members in URR, their coordinators, and all the technical assistance that have been provided by different stakeholders in CRR, in LRR, in North Bank region, in West Coast, in Banjul, and also in Kanifing municipality, all the regional youth committees, and all the parents who are supporting and guiding and helping these children to be molded to become, to fulfill their potentials, to become who we actually want them to become. So we are grateful to UNICEF for all the support financially and the technical support. And we hope that this is going to be the beginning of greater high-level engagement. And we'll also reach out to other ministers. And I'm sure Honorable Minister will help us to get other ministers who also, whose work also have bearing on the lives of children, to come and also answer to the Children National Assembly and answer some of the key questions that are coming. That being said, I want to thank Kerr Fatou and all the stakeholders who have supported us in one way or the other to ensure that we have this successful town hall. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again in our next episode.
Thank you very much, Honorable. And then, as he said, we hope to see you next time, and we'll continue to support the children. We are children, so we want to support our fellow children. All right, until we come your way next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
In communication, connectivity is everything. We ensure that the links never sleep. Quantities and qualities, all in our data service, providing efficient, reliable voice and data service. We believe if you're not up to speed, then you're going backwards. Communications have to flow as fast as the speed of light. Whatever business you're in, having someone who understands your needs is critical. That is why we just don't offer you technology, we offer you solutions. Enjoy Gamcel's internet broadband anytime, anywhere. Your national operator, Gamcel, Yaibaram.
Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But
don't you know about Baluwo?
Baluwo? What is Baluwo?
Baluwo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baluwo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluwo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baluwo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baluwo, better than sending money.
We live in a day and age where technology is creating a world without borders, filled with unlimited potential to improve the lives of the people around us. Innovarex Global Health ushers in a new way of leveling the playing field with increased access to quality healthcare services delivered at your doorstep. Our qualified professionals are equipped with state-of-the-art point-of-care testing technology to conduct tests such as kidney function, liver function, electrolyte tests, body composition, hemoglobin, A1C, and many more services with the highest efficiency in delivering results. The addition to our flagship Wellness on Wheels, more fondly known as WOW Delivery Service, brings the entire clinical experience full circle. IGH has remained committed to creating the future of healthcare delivery. Gone are the days of sending loved ones out.
I get it. Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyingi.
Okay.
Kosa.
Nsila ID soto.
Sa soto. Sorry. I get it.
Bijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariaka.
mbare.
Mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariaka.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato ni fo bolong blabe to.
56 branches mola sota Gambia jam.
Ha?
Gambia kono anin Gambia bantala bankol. Nka kono kiya bere to. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw. Jannam number 1 di nyonta. Andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale. Wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi manin domorol dil fana beteat. Gambia dawda yalo ma fa kendol sotale di.
Wo moyo diat ha.
Apelenta
ni wo ka ni lafta nyelen kendol e bina.
Yalo bukani la ko la baraka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Abaraka.